Yo, everybody, welcome back to the motherfucking Minority Sports Report Wrestling Edition. We're back in this motherfucker. If you can't tell, my fucking kid is wide goddamn awake because I'm fucking screaming at the top of my lungs. I'm your motherfucking boy, Big Black.
And I'm your boy, Game Dollar. Your daughter's probably terrified in the other room. Like, what the fuck is he doing?
What the fuck is he doing? That nigga's crazy. So, again, this is going to be the only episode we put out this week because yesterday we recorded a pretty nice episode after I had some tech issues. And then after the fucking shit recorded, I still had some tech issues. So that shit doesn't exist. And I'll share a screenshot with you later for the teaser for the episode that doesn't exist. But any fucking way, we're back again, and we got wrestling. Mostly Skane's got wrestling, and I got some AEW.
Yeah, you got one piece of wrestling.
I got a piece. Word up, though. Let's get her going.
So let's start it off with the wrestling TV shows that have been going on. Dark Side of the Ring. I don't know if you've been watching it all, but they had one. I believe it was last week, was Becoming Warrior, which is Ultimate Warrior. And then this week was In the Shadow of Grizzly Smith, which is the story of Jake the Snake Roberts and his family.
Oh, shit.
Because I actually just finished watching it before we recorded this. And I just found out that not only was his father, Grizzly Smith, a wrestler, he had a brother, Sam Houston, who was a wrestler, and a sister who went by Rockin' Robin that was a wrestler.
What?
But their family, I mean, they have had crazy history. Like, their father was like there was claims that he was a pedo, like he was abusive, all kinds of shit. That's why part of the reason why Dick the Snake went down the path that he did. There was a lot of dark shit in there, but it was crazy. It was crazy. But one of his sisters gets kidnapped, and they think his father had something to do with it. There was a lot of shit in that episode. But Dark Side of the Ring, putting out bangers every week.
Yeah, I am. Like I said, I have them shit stacked up on the DVR, ready to go, and because I can't just watch one episode. They're so fucking good.
Yeah. And since I mentioned the Warrior one, it was interesting because not only did Dark Side of the Ring put out an Ultimate Warrior biography, A&E did one, which was their version, which is tied to WWE. So it was more of like
it's more of a fluff piece.
Yeah, not as much. They did talk a little bit of his dark side, but not as much as the Dark Side of the Ring did.
Yeah.
But yeah, it was just interesting to see both sides of that. And then also for the A&E biographies, they did Mick Foley, which was a good one. That was another one I watched earlier today. And they also did Bret Hart, which was the most recent one. They go into a lot of the shit about the Montreal Screwjob. They go into a little bit about his Owen Hart's death and shit like that, and him reconciling with Vince, coming back to the WWE and all that shit. So yeah, that was that. And then they had the Most Wanted Treasures show, if I can talk correctly. They had recent ones was Jake the Snake Roberts. I believe that was last week or like 2 weeks ago. And then the other most recent one was Brutus the Barber Beefcake and Greg the Hammer Valentine.
Wow, I haven't thought of those guys in fucking decades, and I can say that with confidence. Like, that's crazy. Holy shit.
He is now Brutus the Barber Fat Guy. Because when they showed him, I was like, oh shit, that's him. But yeah, him and Greg the Hammer Valentine, they were tag team partners, and I guess they're still great friends. So they went out looking for Greg the Hammer Valentine's robe, which had like, they said it was like 25 pounds because of all the little stones and shit that they put on it.
Wow.
And then they were looking for Brutus's the big ass shears he used to come out with.
Mm-hmm.
And it's funny, the fucking shit. Guess who had the shears?
Who?
You know, the record store near where your brother works.
Are you kidding me?
Purchase Street Records.
Yeah.
The dude Roger who owns it.
Yeah,
he was on the episode. He had Brutus's shears.
What the fuck?
Yeah.
Every time we fucking talk, we record. Dante knows somebody somehow. That's connected to fucking wrestling.
I remember Dante had mentioned Dante had mentioned that to me not too long ago, and yeah, the episode
nigga.
came on. I was like, "Oh shit, it's Roger."
That's fucking
Like,
tight.
yeah, that shit was crazy, dude. His crib, he got crazy memorabilia in his crib.
Man, I'm gonna have to. I'm gonna have to take a trip to the good old New Bedford there, and
yeah, Purchase Street Records, awesome record store if you like
it
vinyl
is.
and shit.
It is an actual. The one time I went to New Bedford after they moved in the shit, I didn't get to go inside of the store because it was like super late and they were already closed. So they all came over to the bar and shit. So I did meet everybody, but I haven't been able to shop there yet. But yeah, that's fucking.
Yeah,
tight.
I dabble in the vinyl, so I made a trip out there one time, and I hit that record store, and I was in fucking heaven.
Man,
made out with a couple of Mayhem albums, which I was happy about, so it was nice.
I love vinyl. My mom's got a fucking gang of vinyl that she said when she's done with Earth that they belong to me, and then Jess has also got a nice little collection of vinyl and shit. We have a fucking floor unit, totally not has to do with wrestling, but we have this floor unit from the 70s. It's got a fucking 8-track player in the shit, man, but it sounds so good when you're playing records. But anywho,
yeah, I got a collection of vinyl and actually cassettes. The only thing I don't have a cassette deck, and if I did, I don't think I would want to risk it because if you were born in the 80s like I was, you know how fragile those fucking tapes can be.
Fuck yeah.
Yeah, so I don't even know if I would want to risk it if I did have a tape deck.
Popping tapes.
I do rock my vinyls every once in a while, so yeah.
Hell yes.
Total sidebar there.
Sidebar. Who let this nigga in here? No, sir.
But yeah, so that was Most Wanted Treasures. Not sure how many more of those are going to happen, but that was that. Jumping into some more shit you know nothing about.
Nothing.
You know nothing, John Black.
I know nothing. That was tight. I like it.
But yeah, so we had Impact. Yeah, you recognize that one. We had Impact on Access TV. This one kicked off. They have their little lead-in show. It's like BTI. I forgot what it stands for. Before the Before the intro. I don't know. Some shit like that. But it kicked off. Usually they have a match, and then it starts like once the match is over, the episode of Impact starts. But this one kicked off with an X Division Championship match. It was a 60-minute Iron Man match.
Oh shit!
So it bled in from that show into the actual show.
Okay.
It was champion Josh Alexander defending his belt against TJP. Josh Alexander got the first pin. I think like 20 minutes into the match, and then TJP tied it up with 4 seconds left in the 60 minutes. So they had to go into sudden death. And then Josh Alexander ended up getting the win in overtime. Yeah.
Were you talking about hockey?
Crazy shit.
I'm just kidding.
No.
No. Just fucking with you.
Overtime wrestling.
Overtime wrestling. That's fucking tight. That's actually a pretty sweet gimmick. I like that.
Yeah.
I like that.
Yeah, it was cool. And I like how they it was a nice way to make you watch that earlier show to get you, because I definitely wanted to check out that Iron Man match.
Mm-hmm.
After that, they had I said Josh Alexander got the win in OT.
Yeah.
They had the tables match. It was Jake something defeating Rohit Raju. Next, we had the Knockouts Tag Team Championship match. The champions Fire and Flavor were defending against Jordan Grace and Rachel Ellering. Fire and Flavor ended up getting the win there. So that's Tasha Steeles and Kiera Hogan got the win over Jordan Grace and Rachel Ellering, which are like continuing their losing streak, which is also building towards what looks to be like a heel turn for Jordan Grace, because she's like getting frustrated that they're losing and shit like that. And
okay, yeah, nice.
This Rachel Ellering girl is looking to do shit like singles, so it's like, oh, why are you trying to ditch me kind of thing. So they're playing towards that frustration, going toward a heel turn. What I expect to happen.
Nice,
but yeah, so that's that.
Yeah.
Next up, we had the Impact debut of New Japan Pro Wrestling legend Satoshi Kojima. He took on Violent by Design's Diener, and Kojima got the win there. He was also double duty because he was on New Japan Strong the U.S. side of New Japan.
Oh, yeah, right. Okay, that makes sense.
Which I'll get to in a second.
Yep. No worries.
After that match, we had the main event. It was Sami Callihan taking on Moose. That one ended. Yeah, that one ended ended by DQ. Sami Callihan got the win by DQ because Kenny Omega and the Good Brothers came down and beat the shit out of Callihan and then beat up on Moose. And then so it's basically building up where they're gonna do another, like basically what they did in AEW, where they're gonna force him to defend in a triple threat match, because it's looking more and more like Omega versus Moose is now gonna include Sami Callihan.
Okay, okay.
So that's what it seems like they're building up to. I think they tease some shit where I think Tony Khan is supposed to be on next week's episode of Impact, where him and like Scott D'Amore, the Impact CEO, and what's this dude's name, Don Callis, and all them discuss what's going to happen. So it's probably going to turn into a triple threat.
It's crazy. I love it. I love it. I love all the cross promotion, even though I don't really dabble in it too often. I really want to, but I can't currently. But that shit is fucking tight. I love it. It's like the territories all over again, but on TV. It was nice.
And then jumping into Japan, they were able to put on their Dominion show. This is the one where they were going to crown the new world champion because Will Ospreay had to vacate the belt because of injury. This event kicked off with a big tag team match. It was the Bullet Club, which is the team of El Phantasmo, my homeboy, Taiji Ishimori, Chase Owens, and Yujiro Takahashi, and Evil. They defeated the team of Sho, Yoshihashi, Tomohiro Ishii, Haruki Goto, and Hiroshi Tanahashi.
That's a lot.
Proud of myself. That's a lot.
You heard me. That's a lot for real. I was like, bro, that's money.
Another tag match they had was Bushi, Sanada, and Tetsuya Naito. They defeated the team of Dukai, Tachi, and Zack Sabre Jr. Then they had the IWGP Junior Heavyweight Championship belt on the line. They had the champion El Desperado defending against Yo, and El Desperado was able to get the win there and retain his belt.
IWGP Junior. Okay.
Yeah. So that's like that would be like the equivalent of their TNT belt.
Gotcha. Okay.
Kind of.
Yeah.
More like a cruiserweight or something like that. But next up, they had Kota Ibushi. He took on Jeff Cobb and got the win over Jeff Cobb in that one. And then in the main event, like I said, it was for the vacant IWGP World Heavyweight Championship. It was Shingo Takagi defeating Kazuchika Okada. Yeah, I got it. Took a second, but I got it.
You're the man, nigga.
But Takagi is now the IWGP World Heavyweight Champion after that event. And that was like 5 o'clock this morning, I believe. We're recording this Monday.
Yeah. Yep. This is and it's coming out on Wednesday. Bye.
And then there was also New Japan Strong, which is the US side. TJP also did double duty because not only was he on Impact, but he was on New Japan Strong. He got the win over Kevin Knight.
Damn.
Then they had Barrett Brown defeating Adrian Quest, and then in the main event, another one doing double duty. Like I said earlier, he made his debut in Impact, but New Japan legend Satoshi Kojima teamed up with Carl Fredericks, and they defeated the team of Danny Limelight and JR Kratos, who were part of that team Filthy there for New Japan.
Yeah, Team Filthy. Never mind, keep going.
Before what? Go ahead.
No, I was gonna. That's kind of what I was gonna do, but I was gonna talk about a documentary that I watched, but I realized we just started the English side of New Japan, so I'm not gonna fucking do it. I'll wait. And I'll talk about it before we get into the AE dubs,
which we're about to do.
I know.
So go ahead.
Oh, wait, that was it?
Yeah.
Oh, fuck. Damn. So I ended up watching. I think it was you had mentioned to me a couple of weeks ago, either on air or on Xbox or some shit, that about Peacock and WWE, and I had totally spaced on it. And then Jess had said some shit about Peacock, so I actually downloaded it finally because I have it with my Comcast shit, and I watched a WWE documentary because again, I don't like WWE. Their current shit is garbage, but I will always have a special place in my heart for the Attitude Era because that's when I came of age and that was my shit. You know, I watched wrestling in the 80s, but Attitude Era. Anyways,
that was my prime wrestling watching the years. That was like, our age group, that was, if you were watching wrestling, the Attitude Era was the shit.
It was the shit, man. It was the fucking shit. So I watched this documentary. You can watch it on Peacock. It's called, I think it's Two Dudes with Attitude, and it was the chronicles of Shawn Michaels and Diesel and how Diesel ended up in WWE and just like their run up until a certain point. But it was fucking awesome. Man, that WWE, that Attitude Era, man, it was just something crazy about it. It was the transition. I just highly recommend that documentary. If you like Shawn Michaels, he was one of my favorite wrestlers. Big Daddy Cool, come on. Like, that just says it all. Like, that name is fucking gangster as fuck. Diesel, gangster. Like, just watch that shit. You'll have a great fucking time. You'll have fun reminiscing. And it was incredible. I didn't realize how much wrestling I watched until I started seeing some of their shit. It was like from the 80s and the 90s, 92, 93. And I'm like, yo, I remember all of this shit. It was just bananas. But it is a really good documentary. So do check it out if you like the Attitude Era or if you like Big Daddy Cool or Shawn Michaels. Because it was a fun.
Yeah, they do good docs.
The story is fucking great. It's fucking good.
They do great docs. Another one to check out if you like the Attitude Era was the Monday Night Wars. It's a multi-part documentary. It's a multi-part doc. I think it was like 10 or so episodes, maybe give or take a few. But yeah, it was great. Damn. They cover everything that happened in the Monday Night Wars. Like it was insane. It makes you relive all those Mondays flipping back and forth, trying to see what was going on.
Oh, that shit was crazy. Again, I wasn't a huge WCW fan, but there were times where I was definitely flipping the channel, being like, yo, these niggas got 2 cages? What the fuck is going on? Like, yeah, good times. Good times.
Ring battle royals and shit.
Oh my God, man. Yeah, WCW, like I said, I've gotten into WCW more now as an adult than back in the day because, you know, fucking fan loyalty bullshit. You know, I'm a WWF guy. I don't give a fuck about WCW, you know, whatever.
Yeah. But luckily I grew up watching wrestling with my grandfather who he watched both. So I was able to enjoy both of them. Yeah. Good old school wrestling.
Good old school wrestling. I have lots of WCW fans in my family, but I wasn't one of them. Anyways.
A-Dub. Yeah, it's time. All right, so yeah, this week's episode kicked off with a big tag team championship match. The Young Bucks were defending their championship belts
with their stupid ass headbands and shit like this.
Their dangly headbands. They were defending against Death Triangle, which this was the team of Pac and Penta El Cero Miedo
for the first time, I think.
But yeah, maybe.
I think it was their first time for them two specifically teaming up.
Maybe, yeah,
because it was Pac and Phoenix for a while when Penta was injured. And
that's shit. Right. Yeah. Because Penta was fucking with Kingston before that, and then he got hurt. And he came back. Yeah, you're right. But yeah, so Bucks were able to get the win with a little interference help from Brandon Cutler. He he hit Pac or Penta with the camera. Like across the knee or some shit like that. I forgot who it was.
I think it was Pac. Because Pac be selling the shit out of stuff. And I thought Pac was about to break his neck, but he's a pro. I was like, oh,
yeah, because he was up on the top rope and Cutler like smashed him in the knee with the camera and he went down. And so they got the win there. After the match, the Bucks continued to beat on Death Triangle. And they were going to hit Penta with the Beats the E trigger. The double V trigger that Kenny Omega uses. And Eddie Kingston came down and made the save for Death Triangle.
Yeah, which is we'll see what happens with that shit because that was weird.
Yeah, I wasn't gonna cover it later on, but they did a little promo thing where Death Triangle interrupts Eddie Kingston during an interview, and he basically tells them like the enemy of my enemy is my friend. So basically, like, let's team up to fucking destroy these dudes because they can't stand the Young Bucks either.
Yeah, yeah.
Especially because what they did to Moxley, they hit him with that BTE trigger.
Fucking 4 times, 5 times.
Yeah. Sent him home hurt conveniently because I think his wife is about to give birth soon.
Oh yeah, that's right. I forgot she's pregnant. Yeah.
Yeah, so that's why they kind of wrote him off TV.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, so that was the AEW Tag Team Championship.
It's a great way to fucking open the goddamn match. I mean, the show.
Yeah, good match. Next up, we had a Mark Henry interview after his shocking debut at Double or Nothing. He came out and they basically just kind of went over what he's going to be doing as the like commentary team for that new Rampage show on TNT. And they asked him if he's going to wrestle again, where he didn't come right out and say that he will, but he said he's still got a lot left in the tank. So alluding to it might be happening. But he got interrupted by a screaming, annoying Vicky Guerrero.
That's right, bro.
She
I don't forget about this. Oh, shit.
Screaming at the top of her lungs and introduced her new client, which turned out to be Andrade El Idolo, which is supposed to be like the idol Andrade, I guess is like the translation for that. But yeah, he basically came out and said that he's going to be the face of like AEW or the face of wrestling, or some bullshit like that.
Idolo.
Yeah.
Again, I've heard of this man, but I've never seen him wrestle. You know, so the fact that I was like, man, Braun Strowman. By the way, WWE released a fuck ton of people, like we said last week. Braun Strowman's gonna end up in fucking AEW. Like, there's no fucking way. I can't see him going to Impact or New Japan, just because there's just so much wrestling in New Japan and not that much TV exposure. So
yeah, and then also think about it like this: a lot of WWE stars live in Florida.
Mm-hmm. Oh,
AEW is kind of based out of Florida right now.
Yeah,
So why not?
Why the fuck not?
Because I think Impact is in Nashville, or they've been like recording in Nashville. And New Japan, on the American side of New Japan, they tape in LA.
That's what I was assuming too. I was like, it's got to be somewhere in California.
Yeah. And then, I mean, there's also like Ring of Honor. That's still a big thing.
Yeah, that's right. Ring of Honor. That shit is tight as fuck too.
What's the other one? Major League Wrestling, MLW, I think is another big one. But well, like, I mean, I doubt he would go to one of those. Mm-hmm. Yeah, I would say it's either going to be Impact or AEW, but yeah, I don't know.
Yeah, sorry, derailed. I'm just like the talent that I took a picture of. I was at Target and I was honestly about to buy this Braun Strowman toy because I'm like, there's never going to be another WWE toy with this man. But the boxes were all beat to shit, so I didn't buy it. But I did take a picture and it says "must have superstar." And I made a meme and I said, yeah, I'm going to post it online. It's funny. But anyways, let's get back to fucking the shit that we know and love.
All right. So next up, we had a tag team match. It was Anthony Ogogo and QT Marshall taking on Cody Rhodes and Lee Johnson.
Shout out to Lee Johnson.
Shout out to Lee. But yeah, with some interference from what's his name? God damn it.
Oh, fucking the other dude. That's right.
That other dude.
I can't. He's got a ponytail, or he had a ponytail that night.
He had a little bit of interference. Not as much as would come later on, but he had a little bit of stuff in there. I think he got kicked out at one point.
Mm-hmm.
But
distracting the ref.
Anthony Ogogo was able to knock out a distracted Cody. And then QT Marshall pinned him. And then after that, he got on the mic and said he shocked the world because he beat Cody. Like, you didn't do shit. This dude knocked him out and he pinned him.
Yeah.
But yeah, it was a nice little.
That's how you get heat, though.
Yeah, like, it was a nice little heel. So it was funny.
That shit was great. And that's like, while we were watching it, I was like, I could see why QT Marshall never made it, you know, when he was younger and shit. But that motherfucker is solid. He's not the best on the mic, but in the ring, he's fucking amazing, man. And he's got his hair plugs going in too, so he's got all the shit working out for him. My man. Here's to you, QT.
Here's to you and your new hair. So next up, we had the Inner Circle victory celebration, or whatever you want to call it. Where they came out and basically celebrated winning Stadium Stampede. They gave away their Inner Circle Stadium Stampede shirts to the crowd. Jericho and Guevara basically thanked everyone. Santana said him and Ortiz got unfinished business with FTR. Mm-hmm. And then the biggest thing coming out of that I'm excited for is Jake Hager challenged Wardlow to an MMA cage fight. That which is supposed to be 2 weeks from this episode.
On Dynamite too, bro.
On Dynamite, yeah. Oh. So that's going to be interesting. Yeah, that's going to be crazy if that actually goes through.
So the thing that I noticed, hell yeah, the thing that I noticed was Jake Hager is intimidating, but he still doesn't have it. His timing is off on the mic. Because I'm sure he was expecting a much bigger pop than what he got, because we freaked out on Xbox and shit. We were like, oh, shit. But like the audience reaction was kind of like.
I think that's because the wrestling audience doesn't know MMA and don't really know what he can do. I don't know how many of those who actually follow his fandom into the MMA world.
Yeah, that's true. That's a good point. That's a very good point.
But yeah,
I'll take that back. I'll take that back. That's true. Then I said WWE takes MMA guys and makes them into wrestlers. AEW is taking wrestlers and making them MMA guys. Like, that's just crazy. If it works, it works.
So yeah, that was that there. Not much. Yeah, not really much else came out of that.
Yeah, it was kind of whack.
After that, we had Jungle Boy and Christian taking on Private Party.
That's right, my niggas.
Yeah.
Shots.
Yeah, shots. Coming out dressed like they just got out the club.
No, I fucking love it, dog.
JR's response was funny. The club.
The club. Shit,
yeah. Jungle Boy was able to get the submission win in this one. I forgot who he caught off with the snare trap, which is that leg lock, like cross-face submission move that he uses. And so I got the big win there. Another kind of big push for Jungle Boy.
Yeah, he's getting a huge fucking push. He'll be champion like a year and a half.
Mm. And then as Christian was heading into the back after he kind of like gave props to Jungle Boy, Matt Hardy snuck up behind him and hit him with a twist of fate on the entrance ramp.
I love it, the old dudes
sent the TV to commercial. Yeah, sent the show to commercial with that. I think Jungle Boy ran over to him and was like, "Oh, how could you?" One of those kind of deals. But
it's great.
Leading to another Christian. Matt Hardy. He's been going that way ever since he came over now.
Oh yeah, man. I love it because they tease it. They're not making Matt Dynamite. You know what I'm saying? Like, Dynamite's not the old guys fighting. It's just bits and pieces here because we, as fans of old wrestling, appreciate that, you know? And whatever they end up doing, there's always going to be somebody young with them to carry them through the matches and shit. So like, I think it just works, man. I think this is the best Matt Hardy character. This is the best Matt Hardy's been since, like, you know, fucking Satan bombs off of fucking 26-foot ladders and shit. Not that it got old and shit, but they just stopped using them, you know, when we were watching wrestling and shit. So I like that he's back. I like it a lot.
Yep. So that was that there. Another old guy with a young dude. Sting and Darby Allin came down for an interview. Sting said basically that he'll never forget Double or Nothing. Thanked the fans for it. Got the "You Still Got It" chant from the crowd. And then it wouldn't be a Sting and Darby Allin interview without someone interrupting them. Scorpio Sky and Ethan Page popped up on the big screen talking shit. Said Sting was carrying Darby through the match and shit like that. And then challenged Darby to a match with anyone other than Sting to see if he could still pick up the W over them. So we'll see what happens there. Maybe does he bring in one of these recently released people? Does he Does he? Yeah, I don't know. That was my initial thinking. It's like, oh, is this how they're gonna bring in someone new, like a surprise tag partner for him, or are they just gonna pick somebody from the roster already?
Yeah, and that's why AEW knows what to do with their talent, man. And
could it be a loan from New Japan or Impact?
That's what I'm saying, bro. Like because fucking what's his name when we talked about it last week when he came and did his shit for like 2 minutes and then got ejected. I can't remember his name right now.
Rush.
Yeah, Leo Rush. Yeah. So like
maybe it's Darby and Leo Rush versus Ethan Page and Scorpio Sky. That would be a dope match.
There's so many possibilities because AEW knows how to book fucking matches. Yeah.
That would be fucking tight. I hope that's it because that would be a great match to watch.
You heard it here first on the Minority Sports Report.
Yeah.
RASSLIN edition.
RASSLIN. After that, we had another celebration.
Excuse me.
This time it was for the doctor herself, Dr. Britt Baker. Came out to celebrate her AEW championship win.
Yep.
It was funny. Tony Schiavone was in the ring with a bunch of AEW wrestlers. They had a table with a bunch of burgers on it for some reason.
No, she said she gave out free burgers. Like,
yeah. But it was funny because they didn't. She just comes before she even comes out. He's like, "Why are there cheeseburgers there?" Like before the explanation, it was just mad random. But yeah, Britt Baker came out with Rebel. Basically said that she was going to do a giveaway like Jericho did with the T-shirts. Told everybody to look under their seats for burger coupons, and surprised there was no burger coupons. She said she had them all because she did all the work, so she deserved it all. One of the wrestlers that happened to be in the ring was Nyla Rose. She did not look too happy about any of the shit going down.
No, she was not pleased.
Ended up slapping burgers out of Baker, Rebel, and fucking Shivani's hands, and popped a bunch of balloons, threw a bunch of burgers around, and stormed off. And that's kind of how that ended. Next up in the co-main. Oh, you had something to say?
No. I was just reminiscing of that episode. It's just like
I thought I cut you off.
Oh, no. You're good.
Next up in the co-main event, we had Red Velvet taking on the Bunny, a.k.a. Allie, whatever you want to call her. They just seem to be calling her the Bunny now.
Yeah.
It was another good showing for Red Velvet. She was able to pick up the win. Bunny tried to hit her with some brass knuckles that she got from the Blade, which is her real-life husband. And Red Velvet was able to counter, hit her with a spinning heel kick to the face, and got the win. But yeah, like I said, a good showing for Red Velvet.
Yep.
And from watching old Impact clips, because like I said, when I watch Impact on Twitch, like in the lead up before the show starts, they show old Impact clips, and I see a lot of Allie's shit from when she was in Impact.
Mm-hmm.
AEW needs to use her a little bit more. I think she could be a good woman to have in the division. Like, she doesn't really wrestle much. I think they use her too much as a manager.
Yeah. I mean, but that's like, again, that's like a wild card, you know, because it was kind of, who was the one, like Chris Statlander. You know, she was kind of weird, you know, doing like matches here and there. But when they were like finally right before she got injured, you know, they were like, they were pushing her. I was like, oh my God, this bitch is nasty. You know, not bitch in a derogatory term, in a positive way. Like, this bitch is nasty, you know, because it's Pride Month, shit like that. But I think that's what they, again, like, they have so much talent, and I do think that they are using them well. I can't speak to her Impact shit, but I don't disagree with you, bro. I wouldn't be surprised if, like, out of nowhere, she's making a run at Britt Baker and whoever else is like the number one contender, you know, for the fucking woman's belt and shit.
Yeah, because watching this match, I was like, yeah, why don't they let her wrestle more? But yeah, it is what it is. That was that. Yeah, did I say? Yeah, Red Velvet got the win. I mentioned that. And then the main event, we had a fucking bull rope match. This was another part of the ongoing feud between the Factory and the Nightmare family. Dustin Rhodes was taking on Nick Comoroto.
My dude.
Your dude.
I need a fucking toy.
This was a crazy match. They're basically tied to each other on either ends of a bull rope with a cowbell in the middle of it. And it's no DQ. You can use the cowbell and the rope and all that shit, and they did. They busted each other open. Nick Comoroto shattered a fucking table with Dustin's body.
My God, he shattered the fuck out of that table.
He powerbombed the shit out of him through that table.
And he powerbombed him the long way too.
Yeah.
Like, not in the middle where there's no give. Like, this nigga powerbombed him where the fucking where the shit was sturdy, and he shattered that table.
Like, normally when they put somebody through the table, like, they hit the table and it kind of gives a little bit of distance in their fall. This is like he just continued to fall, like the table wasn't even there. And this shit was like this shit was nuts.
The only other person that made a table blow up like that, or even close to it, was Shaq. When Shaq went through the table with Cody Rhodes, that shit was crazy.
Yeah, because he's a fucking giant.
I know that's the point that I'm trying to make. Like, Dustin Rhodes is not Shaq, dog.
Dustin's a big boy, though.
He's a big boy, but he's not Shaq. Big boy. He's not Shaq, though. Like that.
Both of these dudes through that
table. Yeah, put him through that shit. It was amazing.
But yeah, we had a lot of interference by that dude Aaron Solo. Like I mentioned earlier, he interfered a little bit earlier, but this one he had a ton of interference. And then eventually that caused Colton Gunn to come out. That's one of Billy Gunn's sons. Came out, chased him off. But yeah, so Dustin. Oh, what he did right before he got chased off was he exposed one of the turnbuckles, and he was trying to get that for Nick Comoroto, but Dustin was able to reverse it and drop him like face first onto it. Then he hit him with the cowbell, hit him off with a bulldog off the rope, and then he hog-tied him and pinned him. And that's how Dustin Rhodes got the win there.
That shit was fucking funny.
Yeah, another good episode of another Friday edition of Dynamite.
Yep, another one coming up this week.
Another one this week, and then I think we could go back to a Wednesday and then a Saturday after that, or something like that, or 2 Wednesdays and then a Saturday,
some shit like that. Yeah,
something
but there's a Saturday in there soon.
Yeah, but yeah, that was Dynamite.
Dynamite, man. I love watching it. It's so good. It just makes me feel like a child again. Like, I can't wait. Okay. So, like, I hope my daughter doesn't hate wrestling. Like, I hope to God she doesn't hate wrestling, because I can't wait to, like, watch that shit with her. Like, I can't wait. But
you want to know what's funny is yesterday I was at my parents' house swimming in their pool, and couple of my cousins were there with my aunts and uncle, and fucking me and him were talking wrestling. Because he used to watch WWE, but he kind of fell off because he, like us, like we watch this, like it's whack now. Yeah, and he kind of feels the same way, so he stopped watching it, and he started asking me. He was like, do you watch AEW?" I was like, "Yeah," because I guess he heard about the podcast and all that. So I told him, I was like, "Yeah, I watch it." And he started asking me questions about people who were there, shit like that. So, and he was like, "Oh, I can't wait!" But it just reminded me of when we were kids, going to school and talking to your friends about wrestling and shit like that. I mean, we were just floating around the pool talking wrestling for an hour.
I fucking love it.
It was crazy.
Hell yeah. That's why I love this podcast. That's why you guys love this podcast, because we just talk wrestling. Oh boy, that's the beer coming out. Excuse me. Make sure you hit that like button. Make sure you subscribe, and also make sure you hit that bell icon so you can get the notifications for this episode. Because, you know, for some reason, RASSLIN never fucks up when we record. It's always fucking TMSR proper that like fucks up when we record. But anyways, make sure you follow us all collectively at TMS Report. What else was I gonna say? Oh yeah, follow me. I'm at the Beatnik.
And I'm at Game 666.
And again, we are all the Minority Sports Report. So appreciate you guys for fucking with us, fucking with this wrestling. We'll talk to you next week. Peace out, y'all.
Peace.